everybody in the whole house, wake up, wake up, wake up.
31 seconds, and we're going for auto sequence start.
The young must know it. The old must know it.
T-minus 10 seconds.
I can't believe that it's real. I can't believe that it's happening.
My name is Jacob Luhrs, and I'm the front man of a metal band called August Burns Red. I would say the most important experience in my life is the fact that I met Jesus, legitimately met him. You can have all that, okay? But it's not going to fill your heart. It isn't, and it won't. And I know this because I've tried it. I wasn't raised in a Christian home. I never was, told to go to church or forced to go to church. I did everything I possibly could to make my band, and I just was building this life that I wanted, and I really believed in myself, and I believed in it, and it was really all that I had. It was the only way that I could feel appreciated, respected, honored, loved, cared about, and then when that was taken from me, I fell into this deep spiral of depression, where I just didn't feel like living was worth anything, and I would look towards sex and drinking and all these ways to try to fill this void in my heart, this emptiness that I had, and I would do it repeatedly, and then I realized that I just wanted to kill myself, and I figured, what's the point of living a life where there's no feeling, where you're just numb and you don't feel anything from anyone, and what you're doing isn't getting you anywhere? And I walk outside and I light up a cigarette, and I don't want to say I challenged God, but I wanted to see his face, and I said, God, if you're real, Jesus, if you're real, and I didn't mean that lightly in a nice way. I meant everyone likes you and talks about you, and everyone says that their lives change, and honestly I just think that's a load of crap. But if you're real, then you need to show me, because if you don't want my life, my Creator, if you don't want my life, then nobody does. So you need to be real with me right now. And sure enough, I had the most amazing feeling just hit my soul, hit my body, just this feeling I've never felt from anybody or anything, and I couldn't stop but smile. I couldn't stop smiling, because I knew right then and there that my life was going to change, and that Jesus is real and God is real, and everybody expects God to just split the clouds and say, here I am. It's not how it works, everybody wants that, but that's not the way he works, and he has so many ways of connecting with us in his own way that's different from many others, That's why we all have a story, But I walked back into that apartment, and I still had heart issues. I still had alcohol as a problem. I still had sex as a problem. I still had these problems. I still was alone, but I wasn't, because I had him now, and I knew that he was going to change my life. I knew that if I just believed in him, and I knew that this feeling that I got was not just something that I created in my own mind, and I honestly believe in him, that I'm going to be okay. that he is taking my life. And I didn't know how to pray. I didn't really get the best education. I'm not the smartest man in the world, so it was very difficult for me to read the Bible. It was hard for me to understand what God was trying to tell me, but I knew that that's where I had to start. And so this moment with God completely changed who I was going to be. And that's just the beginning of where I am now. He answers prayers. I know this. And sometimes when he answers our prayers, it's not necessarily the way we want them to be answered. But it's not our logic, it's his logic. And it's not our will, it's his will that we want to live by. When I was younger, I would pray to God. I'd get drunk and I'd pray to God, and I deeply wanted that personal relationship with God so much that I was like, you know what, God? I was hammered. I was like, God, I'm not going to call you God anymore. Everybody likes to call you God. I'm going to call you John. So when I would talk to God, I would call him John. And that was a good feeling. And I don't doubt that God wasn't listening. But my relationship with John wasn't really growing. And then when I gave my life to Jesus, that's when I actually felt God. And my relationship started to grow. And myself started to change. And because I've seen Jesus work in my life, I know that he's real. And there's so many ways that he has my heart. He's all I care about. He's all I want. I just want to do right here on earth by him and just walk with him. I feel like I was created to just walk with God. I want everyone to know Jesus the way I know him, because it's such strength and love and restoration to my spirit. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what your beliefs are. My belief is that we all have spirits, and we all can make the decisions that we make, but that at the end of everything, there is a God, and there is a Satan. There is evil and there's good. And your spirit is going to go to one of those places and side with one of those. You can only serve one master. And I chose Jesus. It's funny because a kid came up to me once, or he said to me once, he said, "How do you believe in God when you haven't seen him?" And I said, "I believe in God not because I've seen him, but because I know him." And that is the point. It's the relationship with Jesus. It's the relationship with God. It's giving yourself to him, having faith and knowing that God knows what's best for you and that he'll always provide and he'll lead you. As long as you let him, if you let him in and you give your heart to him, he can work wonders. What I've learned a lot recently is that horrible things can happen to us. And horrible things have happened to me. And what I've realized is that God makes everything good, and that you can learn, and that he wants you to, when times are tough, go to him, and he will explain, and he will open your eyes, and he'll give you clarity, and he will show you things. But if you don't grow with him, then that's not possible. Don't ever walk away from him, and don't let the hurt and the pain overcome your faith, because sometimes that hurt and pain is used to build your faith. I wish for Germany to really understand what Christmas is, and to really understand the pivotal point of that day, what it started for us as mankind. You know, what it started for us as having, leading to having a relationship that means so much to so many people and to God himself. I think that that's what I would wish. And I don't mean go to church, and I don't mean do all this ritualistic stuff and all these traditions. I mean just sit in front of your fireplace and ask God who Jesus is, and ask yourself, you know, can I give him a chance?